15 minutes.
Well, we've got an interesting situation here where I recorded this race and for some reason the computer let rip.
Stay behind the safety car in the left column.
And jammed up on me, so I didn't have a recording space left on a very empty hard disk. So anyway, we're here gonna try something a little bit different and see whether we can work out how this all works. Let's see if we can make it work for you. Start was interesting. We got through quite neatly and tidily.
Stay calm, focus. Good. Thompson has just retired.
I was a little bit lax there getting underway, but that's all good. Is a little bit like that. You lose ground very quickly when you're driving up a hill like that. Probably a little bit narrow there, but that's okay. Still not my favourite track on iRacing, I've got to tell you. I do not like it. I've done a lot of laps here in the last couple of days to try and learn it, and it's just not working. This bump really upsets me as well. I don't know that anybody would like it. Bit of carnage up front, had to try and miss this one. This is where it gets really interesting. He sort of creates a bit of a problem for me there. Unsettles me because the water car's coming in behind. And a lot of concentration. I honestly did not say much through the entire race because honestly the attention span you need to keep on this racetrack without going around in a circle or getting off tracks is amazing. I end up getting one off track, and that was when I was forced to go off track and ended up with a slowdown as well. It's only 1x, but sort of upset me a little bit. We'll see that shortly. Shane Drew was the culprit of that one. I don't 100% blame him. There was, of course, an incident where he didn't give me enough racing room, and I just had to exit stage right into no man's land. Ended up with the 1x in a Toyota GR86 race. Pretty good, to be honest, I've got to admit. Alright, so we're starting to settle in here a little bit. Do have cars putting some pressure on behind. I wasn't too perturbed by them. Get better as the race unfolds. As I say, it wasn't until I had an incident where my screen went white and it told me I didn't have enough. Well, later on I found out that it was my recording disc and it said it didn't have enough room. Now that was nowhere near true, and I don't know why it did that. It's done it a couple of times. Whether it's a problem with OBS or whether it's something to do with my recording settings somewhere, I don't know. But so it has done it a couple of times. So I guess I've got to make sure I clear out that disc fairly often. So it's not my most favourite racetrack. I'm not quick on it. I'm not confident. I think it's because there's so many blind turns, that one there being one of them. I started to get the hang of this turn. In the tail end of this race. But I can never come to terms with that bump, that one there. Why would you leave that in a racetrack? Right up to Matt B, but wasn't able to do anything about him in a big hurry. Not too sure how far up that bank you can go, but it certainly does make a difference. So concentration is full on. Another turn. I can't work out whether to use first or second there. It really is interesting. Cars behind actually had an incident and I ended up with a bit of a gap back, which was handy. Starting to find a little more confidence in that turn. You can get through there in third and then grab second for this one. Just depends on your concentration levels, I think. Great view. I tried a wider axis on that one and that didn't work either. That bump still unsettles the car, throws you sideways. Really ugly. You can do this in second, but first is smoother, but certainly not quicker. High up on that bank again, that Matt B. Not confident there. If you just take a bit of that curving, you can actually get round there in second quite well. Could have taken a little bit more of the outside curving, but to be honest, my whole focus with this one was to just stay out of trouble and pick up safety rating, and still at this point I had no off tracks or contacts at all. Treat this as one big turn and you're right. Just got to get the gear right there and then boom, see, it makes it a lot easier, a lot smoother, but it takes a lot of nerve. Tried the inside turn that time and it still throws you around. But you can plant it. It's an uphill drive, so you can plant the foot. Back to first this time. I can get that drive out of the hole. It works. And it's a little smoother. I'll give it that. But I must say, overall, not a lot of incidents for me to deal with this one. That turn a little bit better and just use a little more racetrack that time. It's worked. Patient, and you can get there to go through there quickly. Through here nicely. I love this turn. It's the only turn I really like on the whole racetrack, and it's get to the bottom of the hill, you start to go up and plant the foot in first gear to pull out of that hole. And if you get it right, you will make ground, there's no doubt about it. Another lap goes down. We still haven't got any X's at the moment. We've got no safety rating X's at all. We're looking okay. Through. Throttle turn, try a different line again. Try the power on earlier. Until it just throws you out. I don't know whether it's just me, but the other cars don't look to be having such a hard time with it all. It's really run. Took a bit more of that outside track as well that time. But okay. Still no X's. Oh, 0 incident points. And you'll see where the incident point happens, because I get really funny and iffy. So with P4 at the moment, I was pretty comfortable with P4, sitting in that position, didn't worry me. I had no incident points, I had no dramas to deal with. At the time I had nobody on my tail, all I had to do was keep it square, and this is where I think, yeah, this is where it all goes wrong for me. I'm trying to find the in front of me. Yeah, I was trying to see in front of me, and as I was driving through there, I tell you, I had a big white screen in front of me blocking my view. Managed to get rid of that and then try and restart the recording, but was that unsettled me completely, and that has allowed Shane True to close in. I might just change the camera view here, chase, and then we can see where we're at. It's actually good that I can do this. I don't know how you do it without putting it up on screen. So we're circulating through here nice and quickly. I've recovered from the hassle of having to shut down that white screen, and we're moving on quite nicely. Being in P4, and as I said, I was pretty comfortable sitting there in P4 at that stage. But I know that in my mirror, Dane Drew was approaching very quickly. Again, that horrific bump in that corner. And this is where I thought, well, I've got to start being a little defensive here. It's a little more of a racetrack. I can see him in the mirror. If I was better with the cameras, I'd be able to show you that. I felt confident through there, but I left that change too late. Hit that in a curve, which didn't serve me well. And this is where it gets really interesting. So you can hear him in the background. And boom, he starts to nose in. I recovered well out of there, kept him at bay. I think I make a little tiny error through here. Not too bad there. Thought that was going to be where it was. But we're still working pretty nicely. Doing what we want to do. But I'm certainly aware that he is there. And he's closing in fairly quickly. See him in the mirror there. Now I made that mistake, and that allowed him in. And by him slipping up on the inside, caused me to go infield.
Nice to have a racing room. Not worried about passing, but a bit of racing room would be nice.
I was a little bit peed off. So I tried to retaliate without hitting him. I didn't want to hit him. That was the last thing I wanted to do, but I had to give him a bit of a feel as to what racing room we should have. And to be honest, if I'd been him in his position, I probably would have pulled out about here. Anyway, he brake blocked me there, and I'd already had my 1X. I didn't want to get another one. I make a fairly heavy mistake shortly. And that's where I really believe. So I said to myself, look, don't worry about it. Only one race, one position. Let's just deal with that. Be nice about it. Yeah, this is where I just went in too hot. So did he, so I basically followed him in. But with that drag up that hill, it's very difficult. He got it probably a better drag out. And then save an extra safety rating drag, I decided to pull all the brakes on and not be too concerned about it. So that was where I was, and decided just look, settle down and deal with what we've got. And what we had was 5th spot.
Good race, Doc. Just have to keep pushing out those 135 to stay ahead.
And a 42 increase in iRating, and we did have an increase in safety rating as well. So I'll pause it here, and I want to go back. I want to find that spot. Where he passed me. Okay, I'll put the far chase on. So I drifted out wide, it was my fault. I tried to get back onto the racing line but realised he was there, and he squeezed me across. I tried to back out of it. I didn't want to hit him if I hadn't.
It's nice to have a racing room. Not worried about passing, but a bit of racing room would be nice.
So anyway, yeah, I was a little bit grumpy. Maybe he did leave me enough. Maybe he was far enough forward and I went across. But anyway, there was no contact, and that's the main thing. So that was the race all in all that got interrupted. We did pick up some safety ratings. We did pick up some iRating, and it all went pretty well. Not the way I'd like it to go, but that was it. I'll see you at the next one.